oh, I love this song. Is this about me?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hoxton Radio. It's your girl Moresha here, and I have a special guest in the house. The R&B princess with an angelic voice, Raheaven, is in the studio.
Hi.
First of all, introduce yourself for the people who don't know your music.
My name is Raheaven. I am from here. I'm from London, born and raised.
Nice.
And my music is a bit of chaos, a bit of honesty, and it's definitely R&B throughout, but we sometimes go to an alternative little corner sometimes, depending on the song.
What's the first song that you fell in love with?
Oh, God, that's hard. Maybe Tattoo, all the things you said, running through my
That's
head.
such a tune. I haven't thought about that
And the
song in a long
video's
time.
great.
Wait, I don't think I remember the video. What happens in the video?
The girls kiss. You not
Oh,
seen it?
yes. I remember. That was scandalous back then.
Exactly,
And now it's just
yeah.
they were like the inspiration for K1 Kalani, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, now that we think about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Interesting.
But yeah, I love that song.
Me
and
too.
It was an awakening for me. You know?
You're like, hold up.
Yeah.
Rather Be With You by Raheaven on Hoxton Radio, and she's in the studio with me.
Hey.
Hey, small hey.
Hey.
And so this is a love song, right? So what's the hardest part about writing a love song?
Yeah, I think sometimes writing a love song is kind of cringe because it's like you write it and then you want to just scribble it out because it's like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Fair.
But it's okay.
What do you think makes it hard to like make a love song authentic compared to cringe?
I think you just have to say exactly what you're trying to say without trying to make it sound too convoluted or like just get to the point, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the best of it. Just get straight to it. And then you can like convolute it with melody
Yeah,
and
of course.
production and do your own, try and disguise the embarrassment.
So you feel some kind of way when you're writing your lyrics. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
until it's a full song,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to you yet? Or how is the process?
Yeah. I think for love songs, you have to just say it how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it very honest to the point. And then with the production and melody, harmonies, you can kind of fluff it up. But yeah, I think it's, just kind of saying exactly how you feel in that moment and just capturing it and then just letting it go, you know, letting it be.
Yeah, fair. But how is it just letting all your honesty out there into the planet? How does that feel to you?
Embarrassing.
But you still do it.
Yeah, I think you have to get used to like being like, I'm going to let go, I'm going to do this, and then trust yourself enough to be like, okay, it's done, it's fine, the song is finished, you've done enough, you've got to the core of it, and there's like a level of acceptance that you need to like allow it to be a song, maybe.
Okay,
That's
so
how I feel, yeah. Because I think everybody writes in some ways, you know?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
like,
yeah.
You know, no?
I'm just
In
thinking,
your
do
notes
I
app,
write?
you know?
Yeah, my notes app is a shambles.
Yeah.
I was just going through it today. I'm like, what is happening in
Yeah,
here?
like you'll have your shopping list, your grocery list, and then
but
you'll
that
have
doesn't
like
count as
a
writing.
message that you really, you know, you like. It's like journaling, kind of.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
notes app. If anyone opens that, I'm doomed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be crucified too.
I
Yeah,
think everyone were like, please, the notes app actually needs like a code.
it
Not-
does.
Like my banking, not so much, but the notes app maybe.
It does. Yeah, put a padlock on it. Yeah.
But I don't know if I agree that everyone writes. Like
I think so.
I write, but it's not. I don't write for writing's sake. I just write to put my thoughts on a paper.
Or maybe everybody feels maybe, and
That's true.
writing is my way of
Releasing.
allowing that. Yeah, like I can't dance, so like some people will dance,
Fair enough.
and I won't do that. So.
Yeah, so it's just your way of putting your feelings and emotions into the universe.
Yeah, it's my transportation to the
Oh, I like that.
to land to the point to the place that I need to be.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to play another song now called When the Morning Comes.
Same time next week.
And this is such a tune. It got released like 2 months ago, right? Something like
Yeah,
that?
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think it is about rap and R&B that it goes together so well?
I don't know. I think it's like, that song reminds me of like the 2000s where it's like Bow Wow and JoJo and like when they meet, they do a good thing, you know?
But what's the thing? Can you explain what the thing is that they do?
I think it's like a different harmony between like talking, singing, and talking back. It's kind of like conversational too. And I think people appreciate, well, I like that. I remember that era and I like appreciate the the dynamic in those types of songs.
I love that era, the 2000s. I think it's because we probably grew up around there, so it has like a special place in our hearts.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, from your perspective as an R&B artist, why do you what's the appeal to collaborating with rap artists?
I think it's like you have something to respond to as a singer, so you can kind of take what's being said, what the context is, and then it's kind of easier for you to be like, what do I think? And I get to say that, so I'm gonna do it. So yeah, it's kind of, you have some sort of context and like somewhere to start.
Yeah, and someone to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Somewhat. And how do you go about collaborating with your lyrics and his lyrics? How do you mesh that together? What's the process?
Actually, the song was sent to me already done, and then there was just like a gap for the verse. So I was like, okay, the idea is already here, and yeah, let me just go from there. But otherwise, I would, if I'm just like writing with other people with the intention of being on the same song, I probably do the same thing, but it's just like we're both creating it as we go. Yeah.
And you said this song got sent to you. How do you put your personal spin on it?
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of do what naturally... Actually, this particular song, I did what naturally came to me first, and then I hated it. Oh. And Kadiata was like, just sit on it, think about it for a minute. And then I did like another version, and then he was like, nah, that's not it. I think you overthought it now, and it's too... And then I was like, give me a minute, I'll listen back to the original. And then I was like, okay, needs a few tweaks,
but you still went with the first one.
Yeah, I think it was what initially came to mind that worked the best for the song. Yeah.
So it's just a feeling. You just go with the flow. You hear the beat and you go off of that.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so
and I kind of listen to the lyrics. I'm like, what are you talking about? Let me figure it out.
Oh. How did this collaboration come about? Like, why did he choose you to do this verse?
I'm not sure. We were like sending back and forth different ideas, and then this one came. And he was just sending me different ideas. I was like sending back verses, and then this one happened. I really liked the song, and then I was like really excited to do. I did the verse like straight away, the one that came to mind initially, which is the final version one, anyways. Yeah, and then we were like, oh, and then he was like, no, I think this should be a single, and I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, thank God you did.
Yeah,
thank God you guys agreed to it, and thank God you went with the first version. I mean, I never heard the second version. Probably also would have been good.
No,
you're like, absolutely not. No, I'm sure it would have been good, because sometimes I feel like you're probably, as an artist, or all people who do creative things, we're very self-critical.
Yeah, I am a bit like that. I'm like, this is not right.
Yeah, so I wonder,
this can be better. After thinking about it and sitting on it, I was like, no, what initially came first is correct.
Is that usually the process? What you do first is usually the best one?
Not always, because I am self-critical. So I do tend to, especially with my own songs, I like go back and forth. Tends to be more like the first initial version, but just with some tweaks, I guess. Yeah,
of course. I feel like, because it's just authenticity then. And then
when
it's
you like what naturally comes from you, within you, you know?
Yeah, and then when you like go back to it too many times, you can hear, sometimes you can like feel the thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, like with you, but for me, when I overthink things, I'm like, I can now feel that this has been thought over 100 times.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. I think I always want to write the best verse or song ideas for myself, but I always think the last thing I did was the best, and then when I do the next thing, I'm like, that's not good anymore, so I need to just go back and change that, and it's just like an ongoing cycle.
Yeah, of course, and a lot of mix and matching, I assume.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Up next we have My Bad. My bad, and I feel like all us girlies have been in a situation like this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Where we're staying in a situation where we're not really appreciated very much.
Yeah, you know, you just like come to the realization that like, actually, maybe this is my fault, you know? Maybe this is my bad because this keeps on happening.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And why do we keep sticking around?
Yeah, you know? I try to make the production a bit like not too sad.
Yeah, definitely, because you can hear like the strength behind it, like what am I doing?
Yeah,
but it still sort of feels like not lighthearted, but somewhat not too intense.
Yeah, a little. I think it is quite lighthearted. I think it's like lighthearted in the sense of like, oh, this really is my fault actually, and actually, it's sad, but it's also like we can move past this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
now we've come to the
that's true.
realization. Yeah.
Do you want to tell me how the process was of making this song?
Yeah, so I wrote my bad in I said 20 minutes. Yeah, and I wrote it from the beginning, the first words, all the way to the end. So I don't really usually do that when I'm writing a song, but I just felt like I had a method to the madness of how I felt, and I needed to express it in that way. It was already there.
Was it a situation that brought you to write that in 20 minutes?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like I said, we've all been there. We've all been there.
My songs are true, unfortunately.
Okay.
So,
but at least it gives you something to write about, sing about.
Exactly, yeah. I kind of just got home and I was like, you know what? I did hurt myself bad because I really, I just keep doing this and this is not good. But I found the right, space to do it and sing it and write it. So it happened really quickly.
And how do you go about writing songs that are personal to you, but that aren't exposing all your stuff too much?
I don't know. I am not too sure. Sometimes I like to write as in such a personal way, but then I try to there are lines and things that will be very to the point and very honest. But then I'll kind of remind myself that this is a song.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'll be like, okay, now it's time for the hook. So the hook is quite general. It could be about any kind of situation.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But I think my verses always have a bit more context to what exactly I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. So yeah.
So when you're writing, sometimes you write a little too much information. You're like, let me scrap that.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not let me scrap that. It's I'm going to keep the TMI in, but we just need to decide where it's going to be, you know?
Okay.
So let's pick and choose where exactly. It's like a balance.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, because I just feel like it'd be hard for me to put all my things out there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but
also, you don't want everyone, and you don't want the people to know.
Oh, the people you're writing about.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you always have to leave a good gap between when
Just
you
a
release
little
the
bit.
song and when it happens.
Yeah, because I'm just I don't want you to message me and be like, oh, I love this song. Is this about me?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's someone else.
Exactly.
Up next, we have Right or Wrong.
You hit me back, but ain't no love in that.
So you just told me that you haven't heard this song since you released it. So why is that?
I don't like to listen to songs after they've been released because I feel like I've done my part, I've done the work, and it's let the universe take over now and just do what it needs to do with it.
Yeah, and it also reminds you of the times.
And it does remind me of the times and the person that I was at the time, And then I was saying, I'm a changed woman. I wrote a song yesterday that describes exactly how I feel now.
Yeah.
And that's not how I feel anymore. So, yeah.
That's so interesting because I've never thought of that when you finish a song that it's sort of the past you talking.
Yeah.
And that maybe the present you doesn't want any part of that anymore.
Yeah, I think it's again the thing of writing it and letting it go. You also need to you don't need to, but I release it and then let go.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I think that's crazy because you sort of aren't in control of your own song anymore to that extent.
Yeah, it's not mine, is it? It's everybody else's now.
Sort of. I mean, it still is yours, but it's collectively ours. I see what you mean, but I still think it's crazy that you don't go back and dabble with your old music.
Yeah, I think it's not for me after I've made it. I think it's for me during the process because I'm very protective over the little, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like a chicken and then it's an egg, do you know what I mean? And then when it's become a chick, I'm like, okay, she can walk now, she can fly. Well, chickens can't fly, but
Not very well.
Yeah.
But we get what you mean. We get what you mean.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I've never thought of it that way, that you sort of just have to let go.
Yeah, I think so. And in order to write new songs, in a way, yeah, you do, I think. You need to move past it so you can be what's the next thing?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. How do you want people to feel after listening to your music?
I want people to feel understood and I want them to feel comforted And I would say one more thing that I want them to feel is impressed, actually. Yeah.
They are. That I can tell you because I was impressed.
With the
I was
vocals,
like,
at least.
Yeah, definitely. I was impressed by the vocal. That's why you're here now.
Thank you for having me.
I heard your tunes. I was like, hold up. Who is this? You know when you're on your Spotify and it goes on the radio bit?
Oh, yeah.
And then it came up. I was like, you know when you double take, you're like, I don't know this song.
Oh,
That's how I got introduced to you. And I was like, and then I checked out more of your music.
I didn't ask you, how you discovered me, actually.
Yeah, that's how. My Spotify is on point.
Oh, that's amazing. Your algorithm is doing...
Brick by brick. And what's the strangest or most unexpected place where you've come up with lyrics?
In the ocean, when I wrote Rather Be With You.
Oh, you were in the ocean?
Yeah, I was just in the ocean, just swimming. I had the guitar loop already in my head because I had found it before. But then I was just like swimming in the ocean and I was like, I've written the song now. The song is here. I need to get out of here and dry up and go to my computer and laptop and record it. Yeah,
that sounds like a perfect place to write a song.
It was actually, yeah.
Where were
finished
you?
I was in the Cayman Islands when I finished the song, but I started it in London at home, and the guitar loop was just in my head. And then when I was in the Cayman Islands in the ocean, I was like, I think I have the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there was loads of people around me like trying to have like chats, and I was like, leave me alone.
I've got something to
I'm
remember.
downloading something. Yeah.
The ocean. I feel like maybe I could write a song if I was in the ocean. Maybe that's the only place where I could write.
It's very peaceful. There was my friend who was also side note was directing a film there about a mermaid, about this like Haitian mermaid that lives in the ocean and like all of this, and she kind of implanted this idea to me that there is like something in the ocean, like some sort of like spiritual connection, something else is going on there. So I was like, instead of feeling scared, I was like, I'm gonna try and connect with this mermaid, and I think she's giving me the song. I think I'm downloading it. So yeah, I felt safe in there.
That's really beautiful, actually. And I feel like the ocean is such a calming place anyway.
Yes, it is. And actually the mermaid that she did the film about is actually supposed to be in folklore like a scary mythical creature. But she was writing her angle on the mermaid being like this beautiful, like feminine, like power. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I think I have something here. I think I've downloaded something from the ocean. I'm connected to the song, so I need to get out
into
and write
your
it.
female powers of the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, but I know the folklore because in Jamaica mermaids are also bad.
Yes.
They drag
so it's
you
a Caribbean
into the ocean.
thing, yeah.
Drag you into the ocean and
yeah,
not
dragging
let
you
go.
into the ocean, yeah. And I was quite far out as well, so I was like, I cannot touch the floor. So I'm going to connect with her instead of...
Exactly. That's a good shout because if you don't do that, you might get scared.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't. I was fearless.
Yes, you were. You tapped into your female powers. We love that. Up next, we have Talk Back.
Hold up.
And we're going to play a little game now.
I'm ready.
It's called Skip, Repeat, Delete, where I play
Skip,
3 songs.
Repeat, delete. Okay.
Exactly. And you're going to need to tell me which one you're repeating, which one you're skipping, and which one you're deleting.
Okay.
And I hope I got the vibe for you right.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Playing Games by Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller.
Repeat. Already. Sorry.
You better wait because there's some other good songs coming on.
I'm ready to hear this song.
Up next, we have Snooze by SZA. Last but not least, we have Focus by Her.
Oh. You know what the answer is.
It's a beautiful song.
I love this song.
I pretend like I can sing just for this song.
That means that you can sing.
No.
You should sing.
So, which one are we skipping, which one are we repeating, and which one are we deleting?
Oh, do I have to pick one of each?
Yes.
Oh, can I just do repeat for all of them or not?
No,
Is that...
that's not the game. That's not the game, girl.
Okay, I'm going to repeat Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller. I'm going to skip Snooze. And I'm going to delete Focus.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I think I'm the complete opposite.
Really?
I would repeat Focus.
Okay.
Skip Playing Games by Summer Walker.
Okay.
And delete Snooze.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe you're deleting Focus.
Yeah. I love that song because it's the first song that I heard of her.
Same.
But I have many other songs that I'm super obsessed with that are hers.
Okay,
that
it's
are
not your
more,
favorite. Okay.
Powerful to me.
Fair,
Than
that's
but
a good
it's like
reason.
an old favorite because it's my first song that I heard. Yeah.
But that's a good reason at least.
Yeah.
You're not just like, forget her
Yeah,
completely.
no.
You're like, she's got better tunes.
Yeah, 100%.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Up next, we have Better. So, Raheaven, what is your music hot take?
Not every song needs to be released. Not every song is good enough to be released. Let's just be honest. And mixing, this is a caveat, mixing is a lost art.
Fair.
People do not mix their songs anymore, which is fair and fine. But yeah, not every song needs to be released and not every song is mixed well. And yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Some songs aren't great that are out there.
No.
But everyone needs to start somewhere too, right?
Yeah.
You're like, no.
But when you've been at the start and you've continued and you've grown and you're bigger and better, it's like, come on now, can we have some something better, you know?
Fair.
Yeah.
But I guess when you're starting out and you put your songs out there, they're good to you. Until
that's
you know
fine.
better.
I think when you're starting off is fine. But I'm talking about like really big artists. You know, I'm like, come on, like, you didn't have the minute to be like, this mix is not good.
Fair.
Yeah.
I hear it. Some artists release so much music, I'm like, I can't keep track.
Yeah,
It's too much.
It's too much.
And why do you think artists aren't mixing anymore?
Because they don't have to, because I think like DSPs like Spotify and Apple Music, I'm not biased because I don't have a brand deal with any of them, but you know, they all have, let me just say, they all have different ways of like flattening your songs. The way you hear it when you're mixing it and mastering it is completely different to how it ends up sounding on the platform. So I think people just like don't really care anymore because they're like, it's going to go through this system and then it's going to sound different anyways. So we might as well just like, you know, which is fair. But I think, yeah, it's kind of like catch-22 because then you don't want to end up mixing your songs for DSPs, you know, because it's like not everyone, what is it going to sound like live? Like what is it going to sound like in a festival or on vinyl or on physical copies and stuff? So it's a bit, it's a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, that's why artists still release vinyls, I assume, maybe. And maybe it's
I
also nice
think
to have
it
something
sounds
physical.
different, definitely sounds different anyways through that,
But to be honest, because I listen to vinyls, I think most people couldn't tell the difference between like Spotify and vinyl.
You think?
Yeah, I honestly think
Oh
so.
God, maybe it's just the musicians.
Yeah, because I'm
like,
I can
this
tell.
does not sound great.
You're like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
No, but
Interesting.
I don't think most people listen that intently.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with Spotify and all the streaming services.
Yeah.
So much music you can listen to 1 million songs in like an hour.
Yeah,
if you wanted
true,
to.
yeah.
So people just sort of listen without really listening.
Yeah.
So maybe
but then
that's
what
also
makes it sound different then to the other? How do you, if your song's supposed to sound different in a specific genre or whatever, like how do you do that? Do you know what I mean? It's quite, I guess to listeners, to musicians, to nerds, I think.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
oh,
Of course.
this sounds crazy.
And that's part of the art, right? Doing it right for the best listening experience.
Yeah.
Touch it.
Go.
So, what do you have coming up for 2025?
Oh, so much new, different music.
Lovely.
I'm really excited. Then we have some singles and then we're working towards a project.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're just finishing the project as we speak.
Nice.
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be fun and fab and a bit slightly different.
Ooh, in what way?
We still have like R&B threads, but I think it's giving a bit more emo vibes.
Oh,
yeah. We're going a little
I'm
bit.
excited. When is this coming out? Do we have a rough date?
We don't have a rough date. We are literally just finishing it and then we're going to do timeline for actual release dates and stuff like that. But Definitely this year. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
soon.
I will definitely have my eye out for it, or my ear out for it,
Perfect.
should I say. So where can people find you, follow you, all that good stuff?
You can find me on all platforms at Raheaven, Raheaven. So it's Heaven with a R-A at the beginning. And yeah, I'm mostly on like Instagram and TikTok if you want to find me. And then on all DSPs, all music platforms. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah,
Make sure you follow Raheaven and listen to her music and keep an ear out for the new music. It was lovely having you.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed myself actually. So yeah, It was amazing being here. Thank you for having me so much. And yeah.
Thank you for
Check it out,
coming.
guys.
Have a lovely weekend.
You too.